investigative hearing on alleged incidences of corruption and inefficiency in Ajaokuta Steel Development Company Limited and National Iron Ore Mining Company Limited, and the general affairs in both companies from 2002 to date. In spite of the above resolved grave allegations against GSHL, the federal government paid the sum of $496 million to Global Steel Holdings Limited, being the agreed settlement sum pursuant to arbitral proceedings commenced against the federal government of Nigeria by GSHL. The interesting thing, however, is that an administrative panel of inquiry set up by the federal government of Nigeria to look into the operations of Ajaokuta Steel Development Company and National Iron Ore Mining Company, and Delta Steel Company stated in its report that the agreements, especially as they relate to Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited and National Iron Ore Mining Company, was a sham and not in the overall interest of Nigeria, and that the assumed $200 million US invested by GSHL into the companies did not in fact occur.
The committee requires all your cooperation as much as possible so that the real costs for the allegations are properly spelled out so that we can actually know where the issues are. That also made the Ajaokuta Steel Company redundant for over several years. A government establishment that is supposed to function and put Nigeria in the map of steel producing countries and be a heavy revenue earner of the government. We are aware that the plant in Ajaokuta, while some could say it's obsolete, but that particular plant is also still being used in China up till today.
We are not here to witch hunt anyone, but rather we're here to find the loopholes and try to build bridges, try to establish a healthy ecosystem across the steel sector and connected industries so that we can, as a country, once and for all, industrialize like other, I would not even talk about the Western countries, other African countries who have seemed to have gotten things right.
The National Iron Ore Mining Company was also designed to supply the raw materials that ensures a steady flow of resources vital for the Ajaokuta's operation. Together, they form the backbone of our industrial sector, driving the infrastructure development, reducing import dependency, and positioning Nigeria as a competitive player in the global steel market. Their success is crucial for our nation's progress and prosperity. The Ministry of Steel's Development has a primary mandate to develop the steel sector in Nigeria. We therefore welcome every effort aimed at revitalizing these companies, which are critical assets and also crucial to national development.
Recommendation of measures to be adopted to reposition and redirect both companies to partner attaining their intended objectives. Determining the technical state of the companies and financial requirements for their rehabilitation is primary to their resuscitation. The completion of construction of the Ajaokuta plant itself and the associated infrastructure are necessary towards the successful operation of the Ajaokuta Steel Company.
On Ajaokuta Steel Company and NIOMCO, you said the monitoring committee had no adequate provision. So please be more specific on that. So who the members of the monitoring committee were? Who were they? If you can mention, identify them individually, please.
There was no provision in the contract or in the agreement where they say this also amount is to be used to give them to be able to really monitor the amount of investment and so on of the concession agreement. They used to get their money to budget loss from the ministry's budget. I don't know how the budget used to come. So I think, personally, I think it affected their performance. The chairman of the monitoring committee is Philip Umunagwe.
He's actually not knowledgeable enough to help this panel. That's the admission of your interjection. And I find that to be totally unacceptable.
speak on this because he's the director still. My intervention was to request that we be given time to send you the names of the members of the committee because he cannot provide their name off by heart.
Did you see the submission of the Ministry of Steel to this committee? Are you comfortable and happy with what you sent to this committee in response to the inquiries submitted to you?
With due respect, distinguished Senator, the letter that was sent to us was a bit, it asked us to present a summarized memorandum. It's actually said a summarized and elaborate memorandum.
The Ministry of Steel is the highest stakeholder in this investigative hearing, an issue of Ajaokuta Steel. This is what the Ministry of Steel submitted in the elaborate request made to you. It shows that you are not even ready to be open and transparent to this committee. And we are not happy about that. We will write you for that, provide and go back and provide further information. You cannot come to an investigative hearing of Ajaokuta. This shows why Ajaokuta is not working. Because the people saddled with the responsibility to operate the steel sector are not serious. How can you submit 3 documents that are watery and passing bulk? Look at what you submitted to the Senate. This is answered, and it shows clearly. This is the first day of the investigative hearing and the first presentation, and look at what we are getting. It shows you are not transparent. It shows you are not ready for us to do this investigative hearing, and we are not happy about that. Everybody's kids. Nigeria is suffering. Ajaokuta Steel from 1979 has not produced steel, and you gave us 2 pages that are watery. Why? Do you have conscience?
And the first 7 pages here is the summary. So I actually worry about your experience, your expertise in becoming the FAMSEC. Otherwise, you should have known that what we requested of you is actually 2 reports. One, the elaborated part, which be as thick as possible, containing all the relevant contractual agreements, everything that concerns, even the profiling of each parties, the termination of the contract, and then you can now attach to that a 3 to 5 page summary.
Although the monitoring committee was considered, there was no adequate provision to enable the committee. What are the provisions? What are the things that made you not be able to do anything? Nothing. To make matters worse, you then go to paragraph 4 and say, those things that you said in paragraph 1 are the things that are responsible. What did you say in paragraph 1? Nothing. What does this mean? Adequate provision. What are the provisions? You have said nothing. Now, let's go to your paragraph 3. Madam, okay, take it one by one. You say the extent of compliance by one's GIN in line with terms of the concession agreements. GNI did not substantially comply with its charge of the obligations. In what way? Nothing. It's not possible to determine or verify the exact amount imported and invested by GNI. How can you come and say this here? You are the supervising ministry. How can you come and say you don't know the person you did a concession for, how much he imported? That's what you are saying here. That's what you are saying. I'm reading it out to you. How can you come and tell us that you don't know the amount the man brought in and invested? And you are from the Ministry of Steel. Now, this is not good enough. I would say to you with respect, please go back and do the appropriate thing. I have highlighted the gaps in your presentation. Please go and address those things. I don't want to write a report indicting you. And when I say you, I don't mean you as the PAMSEC, as in your ministry. Because what you have presented today, in the full glare of the public and all Nigerians, is that the ministry is not on top of its game. Or director of steel, be in charge. Is that not his duty? He doesn't know anything. He can't even speak to the thing that he's coming to present. He reads it again. He can't answer the questions. It's not good enough, please.
Ministry of Finance is a supporting ministry whereby all ministries and agencies do receive funds from us. Should there be any need for information or clarification from the ministry, Chair, we'll be ready to avail those information on behalf of the ministry.
We give you up to Monday to do the appropriate thing. And I'm sure they will tell you what it means when you disobey us.